A DC Multiverse news recap from this week's Todd McFarlane interview, lots of NECA toy news, including another update for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Hot Toys re-releases Iron Man from Homecoming, Hasbro updates us with more info on the Transformers Unicron, plus the possibility of seeing a return of M.A.S.K and G.I. Joe in 2020. All that and more in today's news video, so let's jump into it. You action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNINews video. And real quick, before we get into today's news, I just want to let you guys know that over on Toy News International, we've launched a new feature, a newsletter feature. So instead of you going to the news, we'll send the news to you. All you have to do to sign up is just add your email to the sign up sheet. I will put a link to that in the video description below. And again, it'll just be a quick and easy way to stay updated with all the latest action figure news. Okay, so let's jump into it. And first of all, let's talk briefly about the Todd McFarlane interview I did this week. So I already previously, in the last news video I did this week, I talked about how Todd had revealed that he is going to be doing new Spawn figures this year, and that they would be, or at least some of them would be, articulated on par with their Fortnite and the new DC Multiverse stuff. So I know a lot of people had been wondering if we were going to get DC or Spawn articulated figures, and the answer was yes. But some other pretty interesting news that came out of the interview, and I do hope you've actually watched the interview or do watch the interview. I will put a link to in the video description if you haven't already caught it. It is an hour long, so you may want to watch it in parts. And I actually broke it down so you can, like, with the timestamp, so you can like jump to topics and everything. But a couple of bits of information that I wanted to kind of just highlight as far as DC Multiverse go. So we talked about Build-A-Figures in the interview, and in the interview, Todd basically revealed that he felt the Build-A-Figure was kind of a flawed thing, that he felt like you shouldn't have to buy like 6 figures, many of which maybe are ones you don't want, in order to get that big figure. So in the interview, he basically tells us that he's going to be releasing actual large figures just on single card back, so you don't have to build them. So it's not like we're not going to get those large characters. He's just not going to make you do it as a Build-A-Figure. So I think that's really good news. In the interview, he talks about having like 12 characters already in mind. Names that were batted around were Bane and Solomon Grundy. But again, he mentioned that he had like 12 characters already in mind that he was thinking about for these larger figures. So I thought that was really good news. He also, as far as like the Batmobiles go, it looks like the immediate plan is they're going to release a series of Batmobiles. Now, of course, they're not in scale with the actual figures. But when you hear him talk about, you know, doing a series of Batmobiles, of the various Batmobiles that have been made over the years that you can have and put together and display on your shelf, and these are about like 7 inches themselves. So again, not actual scale with the figures, but if you wanted just cool display pieces for your shelves, if you're a big Batman fan and you like the Batmobiles, I actually think that's kind of a cool idea. And then he also mentioned that another idea that they're considering is doing, instead of Build-A-Figures, doing Build-A-Equipment like a Bat computer or other things like that, or even dioramas, which I think is a really cool idea. So those were really the main kind of juicy news takeaways from the interview as far as DC Multiverse goes. I thought that was definitely interesting. A lot of other interesting things, and we talked in depth about, you know, the DC Multiverse, and I asked him a lot of the questions you guys had asked me to ask him. So again, I do hope you check it out. It is an hour long. If you have to break it up and watch it in different parts, you know, I understand that completely. But I do hope that if you haven't already, you do check that out. Now, I plan on tomorrow doing a video, either tomorrow or Monday, if I don't get the editing done tomorrow. But I've finally got my hands on a couple of the new Multiverse figures. They are hitting shelves now, of course. I found these at Walmart. Target seemed to be completely sold out. So, I only found a few at the Walmart. And then I also picked up one of the Spin Master 4-inch figures. I've been wanting to check these out as well. So I'm going to be taking a look at these, and then I'm also just going to share my thoughts on everything that was talked about in the interview. Just give my opinions on essentially what Todd said. So that's probably going to be coming up either tomorrow or Monday, so I do hope you check that out. Okay, now getting back into the news of things. So, other news that's happened this week. So, let me get to an interesting one that's technically not toy related. Actually, it's two bits of news. So, first of all, it was announced this week that the new G.I. Joe Origins Snake Eyes movie was starting production overseas in Japan. So, that the actual production of that movie has begun. Now, as far as action figure collectors go, the reason why that's really good news is if this movie gets released in October as it's supposed to, that really bodes well for the chances of getting action figures, new G.I. Joe action figures in the near future. Nothing has been officially announced. I know there's some rumors, but definitely I do feel there's a very good chance that Hasbro is going to be making an announcement either at Toy Fair or possibly at San Diego Comic-Con. Since the movie's not out until the end of the year, it may not be until July that they actually make any real big announcements, but we'll just have to see. But I do feel very strongly that G.I. Joe toys in some shape or form will be returning to retail shelves later this year. And then the other news is it looks like Hasbro may be moving forward with a new M.A.S.K Mobile Armored Strike Command, another popular toy line from the 80s that Hasbro currently has the license for. And it looks like they might be moving forward with an animated series, an ongoing animated series this year or maybe next year. So if that happens, that probably would bode well for our toys returning as well. Now, the reason why it looks like they're moving forward is the folks over at Yak Face discovered this filing that Hasbro did this year, early, just on January 2nd, and you can see that it actually indicates it's for an ongoing animated series. So no other details at this time, and this doesn't necessarily 100% confirm that there's going to be a new animated series, but it's definitely a good indication. And like I said, if they do in fact do a new M.A.S.K animated series, I would say the chances are pretty good that Hasbro will also follow that with a release of new toys. Don't know, how collector oriented the stuff is going to be. Same goes for G.I. Joe, to be absolutely honest. So those are details that we'll just have to wait and see. NECA Toys this week had a couple of new reveals. So first of all, they showed off some packaging for their upcoming Halloween 3 Trick-or-Treaters 3-pack, the Shamrock, Silver Shamrock Trick-or-Treaters 3-pack. So we've seen these figures on display at some of the conventions. I think we first saw it last year at Toy Fair, or maybe it was San Diego. I lose track. But they showed off the packaging, the back of the packaging that shows it's made to look like the little gift certificate that you saw in the movie. It's a mock-up, where for the giveaway for the masks. So if you don't really remember much about this movie, not surprising. This movie was not that well received back when it came out. I want to say back in '82. This is really the only Halloween movie that does not actually have Michael Myers in it, which is kind of interesting. Just a little Halloween tidbit of news. So most of you probably know that the Michael Myers mask is actually based on William Shatner's face. It was like a Captain Kirk mask that they picked up at a novelty store and they used it for the movie. But what you might not know is the original intention of the Halloween movies was not to be solely based on Michael Myers. It was only the first movie, or maybe the first two movies, that was supposed to be based on Michael Myers. And then they were supposed to do different Halloween-themed stories, which is how we got this third Halloween movie that has nothing to do with Michael Myers. But that movie was not perceived well. The Michael Myers movies were, and so they went back to Michael Myers, and Halloween is what it is today. Okay, now while we're on the subject of Halloween and NECA Toys, they also this week revealed images for a couple of new 8-inch retro cloth figures for the Halloween series. So these are based on Halloween 2, and we're getting a new Michael Myers, and he's got the blood coming down his eyes. You get the alternate head, you get the alternate hands, you get the knife, the scalpel, the syringe, and hammer. And then also they showed off images for a new 2-pack, and this is actually the cooler of the 3 figures. I think these are the cooler 2. You're getting Dr. Loomis, which I'd love to see them do an updated 7-inch version of, as well as Laurie Strode. So we got Strode based on recently in the 7-inch scale for the recent movie. It would be cool if we also got a younger Laurie Strode figure as well in that scale. But for the 2-packs, you're going to get 2 pistols for Loomis, interchangeable hands, and a pumpkin based on the movie poster and artwork, which was definitely pretty scary back when you were a kid, and when that pumpkin comes and opens up and everything with that music. That's one of the most memorable things, in my opinion, about the Halloween movies. The pumpkin and the music. I love the Halloween theme. It's one of my favorites. And both the Michael Myers figure and the 2-pack are now available for pre-order at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. And then finally, for some new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle news. So in my last news video, I talked about the new official Wave 3 images that they had released. But shortly after, they revealed, for those of you like myself who have not yet gotten the Rocksteady and Bebop, the Target exclusive Rocksteady and Bebop set from Target, they are re-releasing more of those, as well as a new 2-pack featuring 2 of the figures from Wave 1. Krang, the Krang in the little android, not the full android body. That figure is coming in this line, but in the little exosuit thing. And then Shredder. So both of these figures were released in Wave 1, but they weren't released together. Now apparently they're doing a 2-pack with both of them together. And both that and the Rocksteady and Bebop will be hitting shelves in February, late February, March timeframe. No word if these will be made available online. Hopefully they will. That's my best chance of getting Rocksteady and Bebop, is if I can just catch it when it goes online. As far as I know of it, only the Rocksteady and Bebop only went online like one time right around Thanksgiving. I happened to be traveling around that time, so I missed it. So definitely disappointed. But me trying to find them at my stores is near impossible. I only have one Target near me that carries any NECA stuff, and they don't really stock very well, even at that one store. So I'm really hoping that they do offer these online again, so that I might be able to get it. And then for the movie Turtle, so in my last news video, I showed you the updated package images for the second wave of 90s movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that are coming to GameStop next month. Now, apparently, I don't know the particulars, but at some point, GameStop raised the prices, it looks like, on these figures. Originally, they were offered at the $24.99 price tag and had since gone up to $29.99. Now, when I looked on the website yesterday, the Shredder figure had been marked down, listed as marked down back to $24.99, but the other figures, well, the Splinter, which is sold separately, was listed at the $29.99, and then there's a bundle pack that looks like was still at the higher price as well. Now, there's been, I guess, some indications that people who pre-ordered the figures back when they were $24.99 we're still going to get charged the $29.99. I don't know if that's just an assumption or something somebody was told, but NECA has come out and stated that GameStop should honor the original. If you pre-ordered the figures when they were listed at $24.99, GameStop should honor that price. And if you have any problems with that, let them know about it. But again, if you pre-order them back when they first went up and you got them pre-ordered at the $24.99, that's what you should be charged for, and that's what you want to make sure you get charged for, not the higher $29.99. And if you pre-order them now, if you go on the site now and pre-order them at the $29.99, then you're going to pay $29.99. So just keep in mind, it's not about raising the price. It's about raising the price on those, possibly raising the price on those who had pre-ordered it when it was $24.99. They can set the price at any time for whatever they want. But if you pre-order something at a certain price, it's expected that they honor that price from that time. I don't have a whole lot on the Marvel front for you guys in this one. I will tell you that Hot Toys is reissuing their Iron Man figure from the Spiderman Homecoming movie. I take it that figure sold out pretty fast, so if you missed out on it the first time, you're going to get another chance to get it. I believe it's up for pre-order now. I won't swear to it, but I believe places like Big Bad Toy Store have put that figure up for pre-order, but if they have not, then they should be very shortly. For those of you who collect the Disney Toy Box figures, the 4-inch figures that are offered as Disney Store exclusives, there's a new figure that's been revealed. It's Venom. Now, this figure was actually teased, I think, back when the Venom movie first came out, and they had done like a blackened out image of it. But now the figure is finally being released. It is out overseas. I haven't heard, it's not up on the US website yet, but should be shortly. I haven't heard if any physical stores here in the US have gotten it yet. But again, if they haven't, they should be very shortly. And I think this is a pretty cool looking figure. You get the tentacles that you can attach to his wrist, and then you get the 2 head sculpts. You get the one with the tongue sticking out, and then you get the one that reveals Eddie Brock's face. So again, if you like the Toy Box figures, I think this is one you're definitely going to want to check out. And as I said, even though it's not currently available on the US website, it should be very soon. And then for you Star Wars fans of the Disney Toy Box line, there was a couple new reveals on that front as well. So they're doing Darth Maul, and then they're also doing Kylo Ren with his TIE fighter from the Rise of Skywalker movie. So this is another vehicle set. Like with the Venom figure, both of these are available over in the UK, not yet listed on the US website, but should be very soon. And I don't know if they've started hitting US stores yet, but again, if not, should be very soon. Okay, now switching back to DC Comics and the Spin Master front for 4-inch collectors. So we've got a couple more reveals this week of additional figures that they're doing for that line. Now this first is a 3-pack that's actually hitting shelves now. This image comes from Dewey Manimal System, and you can see it is a 3-pack featuring Batman, Robin, and a Killer Croc figure. The 3-pack is titled Swamp Showdown. No Swamp Thing is not included in this set, but we are getting a Killer Croc figure. Now, I don't know if Croc will be released in some other way, like on a single card at some point, but right now it looks like if you want to get your Croc, you're going to have to get the other 2 figures as well. And then for a 2-pack, I don't think it's actually started hitting shelves yet, but it's listed as a battle pack, and it features Superman versus Darkseid. So the Darkseid, I think, actually looks pretty good. Superman doesn't look bad either, but we've got, Superman's already being released on a single card. But again, if you want to get the Darkseid, you'll have to get this 2-pack. And then there's a second 2-pack that I don't have really good images to share with you, but it is going to feature Aquaman with some longer blonde hair, and then he is facing off against Black Manta. And those should be out soon, but I don't have a specific release date. I don't think they're out yet. I won't swear to it, but I don't think those 2-packs have hit shelves yet. Tomasi Nations this week revealed official images and details for a couple of different figures, all of which I've talked about previously. We've seen some preview images or seen them at conventions and stuff. But first off, we've got Harley Quinn from the new Birds of Prey movie, an SH Figuarts version of Harley Quinn. The figure is said to stand about 5.7 inches tall. It's going to be released in March 2020. It's going to come with interchangeable portraits, one featuring the lollipop that she can suck on. You're going to get multiple pairs of hands, a large mallet, alternate feet with roller skates. So you get non-roller skate feet and then the feet with the roller skates. And again, that figure is going to be out in March 2020. They also released official images for their SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Captain Jinyu. I think I pronounced that correctly, maybe not. But I talked about this figure before. We'd seen preview images. This figure stands about 6.7 inches tall. It's going to be out in July 2020. He's going to come with 3 head sculpts, an alternate battle damaged chest, multiple pairs of hands, and a 4-star Dragon Ball. And again, that one is going to be out in July 2020. And then the third figure they released official images for this week is another Dragon Ball figure and another one that I've talked about, the Son Goku Kaioken. That one I probably totally butchered the name of. But that one stands about 5.5 inches tall, will be out in June 2020. Comes with alternate heads, 2 different head sculpts, 3 swappable expressions, and a multiple pair of hands. And again, that one's going to be released in June 2020. And then 1000 Toys this week revealed a couple of new Hellboy figures, 2 of which are going to be offered as previews exclusives. So we're getting another Hellboy figure wearing the trench coat. It's going to have 3 extra pairs of hands. But what makes it a previews exclusive is the BPRD t-shirt that he can wear. You can either have that on or off. And then we're also getting an Abe Sapien figure, and that one's going to include multiple pairs of hands, a spear gun, knife, pistol, and what the previous exclusive version is going to come with his vest, and it's going to have the BPRD logo on the back of it, basically. So that's what makes it a previews exclusive. And then Abe is also getting a release through Dark Horse, a Dark Horse direct release, and that version is going to include a non-articulated Rasputin figure. So if you want to get Abe, that's probably just so you can get even though it's not articulated, you get that Rasputin figure, and it's probably worth doing. You get also, once again, the hands, the pistol, the spear gun, the knife, and a vest. But I feel like that exclusive is more cool with the non-articulated Rasputin than just having the logo on the back of the jacket. Okay, and then finally, Hasbro this week released an update for the HasLab Transformers Unicron. Now, I will put a link to their blog post. There's a video where they show basically the tooling model for it, and they go into a lot of detail about what's involved in making it and everything. So even if you didn't buy the Unicron, you might find this interesting. If you did buy it, then you probably already got the email and have seen this, so I'm probably not telling you anything new. But in the blog, they tell us things like Unicron is comprised of around 372 individual parts, which occupy a total of 59 tools or individual mold plates. So that's kind of interesting. That's about more than half of what a general Titan class Transformer uses. They also revealed that the Unicron is going to use 6 different plastic types, and they mention a few of them in the blog post. And then finally, if you want an idea of what goes in, how many people it takes to make something like this, they say that it took around 50 people working long hours over the course of 2 days to reach a usable tool layout plan for this toy. So again, just kind of interesting tidbits. The video is kind of interesting to watch. So like I said, even if you didn't actually buy the Unicron, but you're just a fan of Transformers or like seeing how toys are made, you might want to check this out. Okay, so that's it for today's news video. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I talked about. Again, if you haven't already, please do check out my interview with Todd McFarlane I did earlier this week. I will have a link to that in the video description below. And then I will be giving my thoughts about the interview itself, as well as some of the new figures, the DC Multiverse figures. I'll be sharing my thoughts in probably a video tomorrow, but if not tomorrow, if I don't get the editing done tomorrow, then it will be up on Monday. So I do hope you check that out as well. As always, follow me here, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.
Thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News Message Boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.